The Conjuring Last Rites, of course, is a horror movie that came out recently to some very mixed reviews. Of course, it is recent movie. Reviews have not fully come out yet, so take it with a grain of salt. But IMDb is 6.6 out of 10. 90% of Google users like the movie. 52% by the critics and 78% by the people on Rotten Tomatoes. Now, of course, like I said, very mixed. People liked it. People thought it was alright. People seem to have hated it. Now, of course, obviously, Conjuring is a franchise based loosely on the real life events of Ed and Lorraine Warren as they document their, well, paranormal activities, that goes around, right? But main thing about this is that this is the end. This is the, like as they say in the poster, the case that ended it all. Now, of course, that is a little bit of grain of salt, right? It isn't like, oh, this was the one that put them in retirement. No, in the movie, I don't know if it's in real life as well. Remember, it's based on it. It's not really a full documentation on it. They were already retired due to Ed having, well, a heart condition, obviously dealing with the paranormal. Not the best for the heart, right? So they retired for quite a bit of time until they had to unretire because a great evil found them once again. And they had to unretire, face them, and then retire again. So they're like, oh, this ended their careers. Their careers were already over in the movie. So, it didn't end their career. It just took them out of retirement. No, matter of fact, that's a bad thing to say, the case that ended it all. No, they came out of retirement, whooped that demon's ass, and then went back into retirement. What? Hell no, that's a bad phrasing, man. By the way, spoilers in the movie, they survive. But, yeah, they're like, oh, this ended their careers. Their careers are already over. They came off the couch, whooped the demon, and then went back on the couch. Wasn't that easy, but you get the point, right? But the main criticism for The Conjuring is the fact that there's not a lot of paranormal in this movie. No, so obviously you have the main story. Actually, I don't know which one's the main story because they basically is half and half, right? But one story is, of course, the actual, well, haunting, that being the Schmerl family, who I believe it's Don Schmerl, who gets gifted a mirror, right? It's a very special mirror because it is a possessed mirror, which was the first ever case that Ed and Lorraine took, and it was so bad that they ran away. It caused Lorraine to give birth to their child Judy, who was a stillborn, but it resurrected, or she resurrected. I hate saying resurrected, but she came back to life, right? She's no longer stillborn, and that was that. They basically said, okay, that's the end. But Judy would see a lot of things, a lot of scary things, mostly Annabelle, which whatever, I don't know why Annabelle, but she constantly saw these things, right? But they ran away from the mirror only for it to come back as their last case. So obviously they first started with the mirror and then they ended with the mirror. So obviously you come full circle. And then of course that's the main plot, the Schmerls being haunted by, well, obviously the mirror. But you also have the other plot, that being the Warren plot, where obviously Ed and Lorraine are retired. Lorraine's kind of okay with that, She's like, okay, well, we're retired, we're old. Ed obviously wants to continue it, even though he has a heart condition. And then Judy is now grown up and is with her boyfriend, Tony, who obviously proposes to her, and that's this whole thing, the whole wedding thing. So obviously, that's the two plots. And obviously the main criticism is, when you go to a Conjuring movie, you don't really want to see a plot about family and all this other stuff. Even though it's good, right? But there's not a lot of haunting, right? You cut it's around 2 hours long. You cut like 45 minutes of it, of non-scary bits. Actually, you could cut a lot more than that, right? But that's the main criticism. You're going to watch a Conjuring movie, not a lot of Conjuring, right? But for what it is a pretty sweet movie with the Schmerls and the Warrens, obviously. Some pretty nice family dynamics. I like it. Obviously, the sisters hate each other, and goddamn, do they get annoying sometimes. But it's well acted. Hey, that's a family. No, okay, well, not most families, right? But that's a family, right? And the spookiness, I don't know if it has some spooky things, right? Spooky thing, right? But it wasn't scary. It wasn't something that you walk out of the movie and be, ooh, I don't want to go to the bathroom at night anymore. No, it's more like It was scary at the moment, but it's not anymore. Especially because some scene, I don't know if it's supposed to make you feel creeped out, or it's supposed to scare you or make you uncomfortable. It doesn't, right? And then there's this whole plot with the whole demons that possess the mirror, and that there's three hatchet wielding maniac who ended up killing his cheating wife and her mother, right? But those aren't the actual spirits, because there's a spirit behind that spirit. Or okay, my bad. There's a spirit that's controlling those three spirits that wants Judy. For what reason and why and who is that spirit? I don't know if I just wasn't paying attention to the movie. I did not know. No, I did not know. And yeah, no, I was over there like, what the hell does this demon want? They never addressed that. I don't know if they address him in the other Conjuring movies, because once again, this is another franchise. I haven't watched the other movies, mostly because I was scared at the time. I didn't want to watch it. I was like, oh, what if I get nightmares? Nowadays, I'm just like, it's not even scary, right? But it's a good family movie. Okay, well, family is in the family in the movie, not like a good bring your kids to the movie. Probably not, right? But it's not that scary. So it's not like let's put it on for Halloween and we'll get a good scare. Not so much, but it is. There are some good scenes. It's kind of like a washed fighter, if you get the point, where you could clearly tell that the best days are way past them, right? But there are certain glimpses that shows who they truly were. This is basically the movie. You can see some scenes like, see, it was getting good, and then they couldn't keep it up. Can't blame them. Franchise has been going as long as, well, The Conjuring. Well, obviously, you're gonna become washed, right? But yeah, no, it's a good movie, kind of. I give it a 6.5. 6.5 out of 10. It's enjoyable, but if you're going to watch a Conjuring movie, obviously I wanted to go watch because I thought it was going to be scary, you might leave disappointed. But if you love the Warrens and the Schmerls, you're going to like this movie, which is why the people, Google liked it a lot. 90%, I want to give it that, but 78%, I can see that. But I came for the scares and the thrills and as they would say, the mysteries, but well, it was all right. It was all right. It was all right. It wasn't scary. It scared you a little bit, but it's more like, what, a jump scare schlop. That's it. That's the only scary thing. Second, the demons appear for longer than like a second, their scariness goes away. But there is actually one creepy scene, and that's the Annabelle scene in the last quarter of the movie. That was actually one I was kind of creeped out on. I was like, ooh. But that's it. Like I said, washed, right? But let's read some critics. Let's read just two right here. Actually, let's read two. Helen O'Hara, top critic, gave it a 3 out of 5. Not that bad. A fresh review. I mean, that's a 60%, but whatever. A fun blend of scares and sentiment. This largely justifies a lengthy runtime with effective frights and valedictory feel. The sentiment's not wrong. There are some scenes that, you really gets you in, not in your feels, but gets you a little emotional. Sentiment, right? Because the whole thing is obviously, you get the point. The baby was a stillborn and then managed to survive. They call her a miracle. And then that now baby is now an adult and is looking to get married by someone else who obviously you don't really like, right? So you get the whole, I guess, two sides of it. And it's good. It's good. But then this one, where is it? Mark Kermode, top critic, on YouTube. What? Oh wait, they actually tell you where they are. Oh, he's a YouTuber. Hold on. I don't mind bunk, but what I mind is 135 minutes in which half of it is sub-poltergeist oompa loompa ooga booga schlock. What the hell? And the other half is, the Warrens. Let's be real about this. The Warrens were at the best coots and at the worst con men. Oh wait, no, the Warrens were at the best kooks and at worst con men. So obviously we have a non-believer here, and at that point we give him the shame. Boo! We give him the badge of shame. Get out of here, Mark Kermode. Let's search up his YouTube channel, man. Let's see how good he is. Mark Kermode. He probably has more subscribers than me, but who cares? Mark Kermode. Yeah, he got way more views than me. Yeah, let's not talk about this guy. Let's not talk bad stuff about this guy. Next, it's a little over. But he's not wrong. He's not wrong. His review's not wrong. It's really lengthy, and I'm gonna be real with you. You feel it sometimes. You feel it, and it just seems like he just hates paranormal movies. Which, of course, is his own opinion, but the thing is, why the hell... I mean, he's a critic, so I assume he has to watch a movie. But like, bro, if you already don't like these paranormal stuff because you don't believe it and all that stuff, why the hell did you go watch the movie? Unless you got invited to watch it, why'd you even watch it? I mean, I guess obviously because he has a YouTube channel and he makes money off of this, but like, you know, kind of already went there with bad intentions, you know? But besides that, let's look at Nico's review. Low-key better than I thought it would be. Last third is average, loud sounds, and CGI schlop. But it ain't too bad, I recommend. For a non-critic, that is a very much critic thing to say. CGI I want to say CGI schlop. There are some, like the blood scene that doesn't look the best. But CGI schlop? I like some of that. I like Annabelle. He was pretty cool. Let's see someone who hated the movie. Alright. Mr. A, we're just going to end it on here because it's not a lot. He just put boring and full of jump scares. Like I said, yeah, I think I mentioned that in the beginning. Jump scare schlop. Makes sense. But boring? I think there's enough stuff going in there that makes you interested. Now, of course, it's not really what you want in a Conjuring movie. You don't really want a whole family thing, subplot, or even both plots. You want scares, you want demons, you want all this stuff, man. And of course, the Christians probably won't like this because, goddamn, the power of Jesus seems to not work in these movies. I don't know what's wrong with that. Goddamn. They're like, oh, you know, at least Pope's Exorcist had it a little bit better than that, right? But, no, yeah, you gotta watch a Conjuring movie, you gotta go watch, well, paranormal things. You're not out here to watch family tensions and all that stuff. No, you're here to watch scares. And sometimes it just doesn't deliver. He's not wrong. But obviously, you know, it's multi-genre, so obviously you're not going to be only watching for scares and stuff. But for the scares that are in here, it's not the best. Not to mention the demons aren't even fleshed out or anything, which is weird because this is technically based on true events. Whether or not you want to believe that, it's your own thing. But considering some people, I don't know, believe it or not, you know, at the end of the day, you're still supposed to, like, give us a little bit more information, right? But I don't know if it's in the books. Who cares? But besides that, yeah, that's the end of the review. It's a decently good movie, family movie. Cause like I said, someone said it could be a somewhat good drama, and he wouldn't be wrong. But this isn't a drama movie. This isn't a family drama. This is a scary Conjuring movie. You were here for the scares, and at the end of the day, it's not that scary. It's not that scary. I don't know if I'm becoming a big boy and not scared of the dark anymore, but it wasn't that scary. 6.5, what I recommend it. If you have a A-list or Cinemark movie membership or whatever, yeah, no, it's definitely worth watching. But if you got our Discount Tuesday, it's a good enough movie to be a Discount Tuesday movie. But, or Wednesday at this point. I don't know what they're doing. Next thing you know, there's Discount Thursdays. But, no, a full price ticket, hell no. I would not pay full price for this, man. It's a decent movie. Would not pay full price. Full price nowadays is like $22. I'm not paying $22 for this. I'm not even paying $15. $10, that's it. But anyways, yes, hope you enjoyed this review. If you guys watched it, hopefully you guys enjoyed it more than I did. And if you didn't enjoy it, I don't know what to say. But besides that, I hope you enjoyed this video, and I hope to catch you on the next one.